Well, hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel for the returning viewers. For new people who are just tuning in for the first time, welcome to Larry's House of Hockey. So, it's that time of the week again. It is fun time. This is the sixth week that I'm doing this, and it's definitely a lot of fun. My own power rankings. These are pretty cool. Very, very cool how to do these. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now we had some teams that we had some movement. We had some that moved some, but not a lot. There were a couple of teams that did have some drastic movement. And should be interesting to get into this. So, starting off at number 32, they're actually even though they're on a winning streak. They're on a winning streak technically. But they're back to number 32, and that's San Jose. The San Jose Sharks, of course, they've been camped in number 32 for a while. They had 1 week. 1 week. They were not 32. They were not 32 last week. They were 31, but now they dropped back down to 32. And it's just, it's a bad week. It's been a bad season. Even though the last 10 games, San Jose, they're 1-2 on the week. They're 3-7 in the last 10. They're on a 1-game win streak. So who knows? Maybe it's possible that these guys can get out of number 32. Maybe. I don't know. Number 31. Now, these guys had a relatively big drop. Well, not really a big drop, but they did not have a good week. They have. It's not been good. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They lost all 4 games this week. One of them was in extra time, and they are 1-7-2 in the last 10, and it's Columbus. The Blue Jackets. I think a lot of people were expecting the Blue Jackets to have a little bit better of a season this year, but wow. They're not good. They are just not good right now. And I mean, losers of 3 straight, it's not good at all. I mean, dropping 3 spots. Oof. And only one win in the last 10, and losers of 3 straight. Yeah, not good. Number 30. Now these guys dropped 4 spots. And they're also losers of 3 straight. They went winless on the week, and they are 3-7-10. They're 3-7-0 in the last 10, and that's Chicago. Now the Blackhawks are. I mean, this is kind of where we expected them to be. Was down in this area, and they're kind of right where we kind of thought they'd be. I mean, they have their good moments, they have their bad moments. It's just kind of it's kind of what the Blackhawks do right now. Number 29, dropping 2 spots, and I don't know, these guys they kind of keep on cratering. I mean, they lost in Sweden. They lost their first game in Sweden, and they play again tomorrow early morning, and it's just, I don't know how much lower they can get. Minnesota. Now, the Minnesota Wild is, this is the kind of season we expected them to, this is the kind of season I kind of expected them to have last year. But again, this year and next year, they are in the epitome of cap hell. And it's, to see them not, they're not good right now. They're not good at all. they've gone 2-6-2 in the last 10. It's not good right now. And I guess I don't, with the exception of these three teams being as bad as they are, it's very possible one decent week from these guys and a similar week to what this one was for Minnesota. Minnesota could be down here. Minnesota could. I don't see them challenging San Jose for 32, but 30 or 31, I think it's entirely possible. Number 28, moving up one spot. Now they didn't have a halfway. I mean, they went 1-1. They won their last game. They're 3-7-0 in their last 10, and that's Nashville. Now the Predators are just. I mean, they had a good win. They got a win today, which was good, and it was definitely needed. It was definitely needed, and they're just, I don't know. I mean, Nashville is another one of those teams that's just, I mean, you kind of expected them to be where they are, but oofta. I don't know how much more further up they can go, but who knows? We'll have to see. Number 27. Now these guys moved up 5 spots, and it's not that they didn't have a bad week. I mean, they went 2-1 on the week, but they lost today or yesterday. Wait a minute. They lost the last game. Yeah, they lost today. And, again, they're 4-6-0 in their last 10, and that's Edmonton. So, I mean, they fired the coach, which I don't think the coach deserved to be fired, but, you're trying to do something. You're trying to spark something. And, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if the Oilers can climb out of this, climb out of the doldrums that they're in. But, they had a halfway decent week. So, I mean, they won 2 of 3 and, they're number 27. Number 26, moving up 4 spots. Now, these guys had a pretty decent week, too. They went, they didn't lose in regulation this week. And they're 4-4-2 in the last 10. They're on a streak of their last loss was in extra time, and that's Calgary. So the two Alberta teams are still next to each other, and again we'll see what Calgary. I mean they've got guys wanting demanding to be traded. I mean Zadorov saying I want out. I don't want to be here. This I don't know, and with them apparently they're taking phone calls on a lot of their UFAs, the guys that are going to be unrestricted free agents at the end of this year. They're taking calls on, so we'll see what they do, but yeah, Calgary is number 26. Number 25, dropping 6 spots. And yeah, not a good week. Not a good week. Losers of 3 straight, 4-5-1 in the last 10, and that's Buffalo. The Buffalo Sabres. What in the world is going on with this? What's going on with these guys? I was pulling for these. I was really wanting to see this team get back into the playoffs. I really was hoping that they'd get back into the playoffs. Man, right now, I think it's going to be another year where they're going to be they're going to be on the outside looking in, and it's just, I don't know, something's got to change here. But yeah, another not great week for the Sabres, and I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do to pull themselves out of this, but. It's crazy. Number 24, dropping 3 spots. Now these guys, they've lost 2 straight. They went 2-2 this week. They're 6-4 in the last 10. And I do kind of think they got robbed of a point last night. And that's Anaheim. So the Ducks, after having a pretty decent start, they got off to a pretty decent start. They kind of have fallen back to earth a bit. And again, this is a team. I mean, they got a lot of fight on them. They have a lot of fight in them, and I do think they got hosed out of at least 1 point last night against Florida. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know how you look at that play for over 5 minutes, and you can't tell if the puck is in. I don't care if it's up on its edge or not. It's pretty obvious. It should be pretty obvious, where the goal line is, where the puck is. If there's white in there, it's a goal. Somehow they couldn't figure that out. So yeah, Anaheim kind of got screwed out of a point last night, but again, they've kind of fallen back to earth a little bit. And yeah, they're number 24. Number 23. Now this is the biggest drop of the week. And wow. They went 0-4 on the week. They are 2-7-1 in their last 10. Losers of 4 in a row, and they dropped 10 spots. Montreal. What in the world happened here? What happened here? What happened to the Canadians? They just, I don't know. I don't know what happened with them, but man, they dropped like a stone this week. And hopefully they can kind of right that ship a little bit, but yeah, losers of 4 straight, losing all 4 games this week. Yeah, not good. So, we'll see what they do, but yeah, they dropped 10 spots this week. Number 22, they moved up 1 spot, not necessarily because of, anything really that they did. It's just Montreal had such a crap week, it kind of bumped them up. So number 22 is the New York Islanders. Now the Islanders, they went 1-1-2 this last week. So I mean, not that hot, obviously. Their last 10, they're 2-4-4. So, and they won, and they're at least on a win streak. They won the last game, which was tonight. They, oddly enough, they won it in a shootout. So yeah. So the Habs the Islanders are number 22, mainly because the Canadians, kind of dropped like a stone. So yeah. Number 21. Now these guys, not the best week. They went 1-2 on the week, losers of 2 straight. They're 5-5 in the last 10, and that's St. Louis. So the Blues are a team also that is, I don't know. The Blues are just, I don't know. They're kind of an anomaly. They are definitely kind of an anomaly. And, let's see. Did they play tonight? Yes, they did. They played tonight and they got blitzed. So, So yeah, the Blues, kind of another one of those up and down teams. We're just not quite sure what they are, So yeah, who knows? Number 20, moving up 5 spots. They had a decent week. They went 2-1-1 on the week, 5-3-2 in the last 10. Winners of 2 in a row. And we'll pull out the old anchor here for Seattle. So the Seattle Kraken. It's good to see, good to see them, in at least the out of the bottom row, and So I mean, they're on a decent week, and again, they're basically 500 in their last 10. I mean, if you look at what NHL 500 is based on, they're 2 games above. But yeah, I mean, winners of 2 straight. I think that's a decent spot for them. I mean, bumped them up 5 spots, and not bad. So number 19, dropping 1 spot. Not exactly a great week for these guys. They went 1-2 on the week. They're 5-5 in the last 10, and they lost their last one, New Jersey. Now, is it me, or were the expectations this year a little high for the Devils? I'm kind of starting to wonder, because they made all those signings. They've got a pretty decent team, but I'm starting to wonder if the expectations were a little bit too high for these guys, because they have not gotten off to the start that we expected them to get off to, and and it's kind of showing. I mean, even though they dropped 1 spot, and it's just I don't know. Starting to think expectations might have been just a smidge high for the Devils this season. But again, we've still got a long way to go yet. Number 18, moving up 4 spots. Now these guys, they weren't horrible. They weren't, they weren't great, but they weren't horrible. They went 2-1 on the week, 4-4-2 in the last 10, and they've won 2 in a row, and that's Tampa. So the Lightning are kind of getting things going. They're expecting Vasilevsky back by right around Thanksgiving, which to me cannot come soon enough for them. And and they're hanging in. They're hanging in there. They're not awful. When you find out that Vasilevsky's going to be out for 2 months, you're thinking, uh-oh. But Tampa's not. They're not doing awful. They're 8-6-4. They're 8-6-4 on the year. Almost. We've gone to almost. Almost 20 games. They're 18 games in. They're 8-6-4. If you think about it, they technically are 8-10. But again, they're getting Vasilevsky back, and we'll see what they can do. But they bumped them up 4 spots. Number 17. Now these guys had a heck of a move last week. Last week, the Penguins moved up. Last week the Penguins had a move up of 11 spots because of the streak they were on. Well, this week they dropped 3. They're at number 17, and of course that's Pittsburgh, because this week they've lost 2 in a row. They're 6-4 in the last 10, and they went 1-2 this week. So Pittsburgh, having a heck of a having a relatively harsh drop, so to speak. Going number 17. So it dropped them 3 spots, and we'll see what they can. We'll see if they can turn that around. But yeah, right now, the Penguins are right on the verge of the second row. Number 16, dropping 4 spots. Now these guys, they went 1-1-1 on the week. They're 5-3-2 in the last 10. They lost their last game, and that's the Coyotes. So Arizona at number 16. they're another one of those teams. We're just not quite sure. What are you going to get out of these guys? I mean, we're not entirely sure. They're 8-7-2 on the year, and it's just, I mean, the fact though that they're still in the second row, that's not a bad spot for them, even though it dropped them 4 spots. Number 15. This was the biggest mover on the board. They moved up 9 spots. And the reason they moved up 9 spots, they went 2-0 on the week, 2-0 on the week. They're only 5-5 in the last 10, but they're winners of 3 in a row, and that's the Ottawa Senators. So the Senators, they are without a doubt the epitome of we're up, we're down. We're up, we're down. They're another one of those teams. I mean, they had a great week. Winning both their games this week. Winners of 3 in a row though. That kind of, winning their last 3 is I think the main reason why they've moved up 9 spots is because of where they were and winning 3, going undefeated this week and winning 3 and winners of 3 in a row. Yeah, I think it's a decent spot for them to be. Number 14, dropping 5 spots. And they dropped 5 spots mainly because they didn't win a game this week. They went 0-1-1 on the week, 3-5-2 in the last 10. And that's Detroit. So the Red Wings, they're another one of those teams. Do we really know what we're going to get with them? They're another one of those anomalies, I mean, they're not having a bad season. I mean, they're 8-6-3, and it's just we're not entirely sure. It's hard to judge Detroit right now. But I think 14 right now, and again, it's not that they necessarily had that bad of a week, but there were some teams that just had great weeks and overtook them. Number 13, they have moved up 2 spots, and these guys have been having a pretty good time too. They went 2-0 on the week. They're not that great in the last 10 games. They're only 5-5 in the last 10. But winners of 4 straight. Philadelphia. The Flyers. Now what do you get out of this team? They again are another one of those teams. We're not sure what they are. 9-7-1 on the year. And it's just I don't know. They're another one of those teams that just we're just not entirely sure what the deal is. So, they've moved up 2 spots, and let's hope they can keep it going. Philadelphia is one of those teams I pull for, and I really hope they can keep that run going. Now, number 12, moving up 5 spots. They had a great week this week. They went 3-0 on the week. They're 6-2-2 in the last 10. Winners of 3 straight. Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets. Now, this is another team that I really pull for. I really want to see them do well. Because they're playing in I was just about to say they're playing in the smallest arena in the league, and then I'm like, no wait, Arizona exists. But they're playing in one of the smaller arenas. They've been having trouble with attendance, trying to get people to come and watch them. And it still blows my mind that the minute people were saying, oh, attendance is down, the stories immediately came up. Can hockey work in Winnipeg? And I literally was just like, Because I heard those stories and I'm like, are you kidding me? You're coming out and saying that when Arizona exists. When Arizona is lucky if they're playing in front of 3,000 people. I thought that's lame and pathetic. The people who came out and said, I don't know if hockey can work in Winnipeg. As to which I would say, do you not see Arizona? But, people always got to talk about something, right? So, Winnipeg's a team I'm definitely pulling for, and I really want to see them do well. I would love to see them get into the playoffs, and I'd love to see them make some noise. It would be awesome for them. It'd be awesome for that town, and let's see what they can do. Let's see how they can build on it. Number 11. Now these guys dropped 3 spots. Now they only played 2 games this last week. They went 1-1. They're 7-3 in the last 10. They did win their last game. Carolina. Now Carolina at number 11. Now people might wonder, why would you drop Carolina 3 spots? Well, there's reasons, because some of the teams that are above them had really good weeks. And, Carolina's another one of those teams. They're just, the expectations are there, and I don't know what you're going to get. They're another team. You're not sure what you're going to get out of them. And I want to see them do well too. They just unveiled their new retro jersey this year, which was a white Hartford Whaler jersey. Looks fantastic, by the way. My whole thought there is, you basically have gone down the rabbit hole of the Hartford Whalers jersey history. The only one you haven't revealed, you haven't really tried to make an Adidas prime green out of, is the blue one. So why not come out with the blue one? And then you basically got the entire Whalers jersey history. So Carolina, not too bad. Dropped 3 spots, but we'll see what they can do. But yeah, I mean they're 7-3 in the last 10, and yeah, they're number 11. Number 10. Now these guys stay in the same spot, mainly because they didn't really play this week. They played 1 game. They won that 1 game over in Sweden, and that's Toronto. Now Toronto, again, they didn't have a bad week. I mean, they've won, they're 5-3-2 in the last 10. They've won 3 in a row. But again, some people might think, why would you keep them at number 10? Well, I mean, they only played the 1 game this week. Granted, they did win. But it's one of those. It's one of those. I mean, when you don't really play, it's kind of So, and I mean, I didn't think they necessarily deserved to go, to be, moved up hardcore, even though they won 3 in a row. But I still think they're in a halfway decent spot. Number 9. Now this is another big mover. These guys have moved up 7 spots. Now these guys had a great week too, or they've had a good run too. They won both their games this week. They went 2-0 on the week. Winners of 4 straight. 8-1-1 in the last 10. Washington. So the Capitals. That's another reason. That's another reason why I put them up above Toronto, was because of the fact that they've won 8 of their last 10, and they've won 4 in a row. And I think it definitely they're definitely in a good spot right now. And even with Ovechkin not looking like the Ovechkin that we all know, they're still getting wins. They're still looking good. And I mean, and again, 9-4-2 on the season, and hopefully they can keep this run going. Number 8, dropping 5 spots. I didn't want to drop these guys, but they didn't really give me a choice. They went 2-2 on the week. They're 7-3-0 in the last 10, but they've lost the last 2 games that they've played. And that's Vancouver. As I bust out the old Johnny Canuck. Dropping 5, I mean, it pained me. It pained me to drop them that far because this is a team that again, nobody really expected the start that they're on, and I want to see them keep it going. I really want to see them keep it going. I mean, they're 12-5-1 to start. I mean, that's a damn good start. 12-5-1, that's really good. But again, you lose 2 in a row, and it's just kind of like, So it pained me to drop them. It literally pained me to drop them 5 spots because I had them 3rd last week. So, hopefully they can build on that and come out of that. But yeah, it still was kind of like, oosh. Number 7. Now these guys moved up 4 spots. They had a good week. They won all 3 games this week. They were 3-0. 5-5 in the last 10. But again, winners of 3 straight. Colorado. So Colorado, and they had a really good win tonight against Dallas. And again, they are another one of those teams. They've had their struggles. They started out incredible. Then they went on. Then they kind of went on a little bit of a dive, but now they've come back up, and they're looking good again. Winners of 3 in a row, not bad. Now some people might say, especially because of the result of the game that they played, that they should probably be above the team that is number 6. Because they went 2-1 on the week. The one loss being to Colorado. That's Dallas. Dallas, of course, they've gone 7-3 in the last 10. While Colorado had only been 5-5. So, I kind of have to look at that. I kind of have to look a little bit at that, too. That, Colorado did have a little bit of a hiccup in there. Dallas has been relatively consistent. So that's kind of why I have Dallas at 6 and not Colorado. Even though Colorado, big win that they got tonight over Dallas. But just, that Dallas has just done a smidge, just a little bit better. Just a little bit better over the last couple of weeks or whatever. That keeps them at number 6, which is the same spot that they were in last week. Number 5, moving up 2 spots. Now these guys had a pretty good week too. They went 3-1 on the week, 7-2-1 in their last 10, and they're looking like the team. They're looking like that team that we saw in the playoffs that made that run all the way to the finals. Florida, the Panthers. Oh, baby. Whoo, baby. I'm liking what I see. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from these guys. These guys are looking fantastic. They are looking like the team that kind of came out of nowhere against Boston, shocked them, and they rode that wave all the way to the final. Even though they came up a little short against Vegas. Just getting there. Really, really good. Really, really good. And, moved them up 5 spots. Only moved them up 2 spots because, you're in the top row. So, if you're gonna move up, it's gonna be a little harder to move up than it is to move down. Let's just say that. So, but yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Florida. Number 4, staying in the same spot as last week. Now these guys, they went 1-1-1 on the week. They lost their last game in extra time, 6-3-1 in their last 10. It's the defending champion Golden Knights. So Vegas, they have been, again, a team, hot start, really good record. I mean, they're 13-3-2 in their last, 13-3-2 to start the year. Not bad for a defending champion. And they are just, they're doing well. I mean, like I said, they went 6-3-2 in the last 10. Or 6-3-1 in their last 10. 6-3-2 would be 11 games, not 10. But yeah, number 4 keeps them in the same spot, and yeah, not bad. Not too bad. We'll see what the defending champions can continue to do. Number 3, moving up 2 spots. They won both their games this week. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They're 7-1-2 in the last 10, and that's LA. The LA Kings. Oh man, you want to talk about a team that's riding high right now, especially after big win tonight. They're riding high. They're looking really good, and it's another one of those teams that I would love to see them not only make the playoffs again, but potentially make some noise. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Number 2, dropping 1 spot, and it's not necessarily, that they had a bad week, because they didn't. They went 2-0 on the week. They've won 2 straight. They're 7-1-2 in the last 10. It's just the team that's ahead of them, they're a wagon right now. Number 2, Boston. The Bruins are... I mean, they right now, they have the best record in the league. They're 13-1-2. They are just, they're incredible. They 13-1-2, 28 points on the year, and they're honestly, it's almost looking like they want to try to see if we can can we get to 65 wins again this year? I don't know. It's looking like they're trying. Looks like that's something that they might be trying to do. But yeah. So I got them number 2 only because the team that is number 1, they are, you want to talk about a machine right now? They won both their games this week. They're 9-0-1 in the last 10, winners of 4 straight. And that's the New York Rangers. Oh my goodness, the New York Rangers. Now that team, I almost put them number 1 last week. Almost. And I definitely think that they deserve to be number 1 this week. They're on a roll right now. 12-2-1 to start the year. And like I said, they're winners of 4 in a row. 9-0-1 in the last 10, and they're looking good. Even with Shesterkin out, Shesterkin has been hurt, and he's been out. And Quick has came in and has looked fantastic. I mean, they even had Domingue, Louis Domingue, the 3rd stringer, comes in. Of course, he comes in against who? Minnesota. And do you think Minnesota knows how to score on him? Nope, not a bit. That's why Minnesota's down here and the Rangers are up here. So yeah. The Rangers looking really good right now. Number 1 this week on the power rankings, and they keep that up. They might be in that spot for a while. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. So this is the power rankings for the week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Let me know just how wrong you think I am on some of these teams. And, hopefully, some of you guys got some time and you don't, just click on the video and then fast forward all the way to the end. I know there'll be some that do that, but, hopefully you'll stick through it. But yeah, so that's this week's power rankings. Let me know again what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated if you would hit that like button. If you really enjoyed the video, Again, it would be greatly appreciated if you would hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded, you can tap that little bell icon and it will notify you anytime one of my videos goes live. And yeah, so this was week 6 of the first year I've ever done power rankings, and I'm definitely enjoying it. Let me know what you guys think. Again, hit like and subscribe. I will see you guys later.